legal compliance in digital world from a law perspective? Well, yes, we're talking about digital trust, we're talking about AI, emerging technologies, then privacy remains a concern, and the legal landscape continues to evolve. Now, all this requires companies to put in a perspective, put in a strategy for creating digital trust, complying with the law, mitigating risks, being aware of privacy concerns, being ethical as well. Now, all these are fundamental questions which companies are grappling with, and nobody has easy answers. Now, there are different perspectives. And how about taking all this from perspective of a lawyer? And I'm talking about none other than Valeriy Stalirov.
Hello, and welcome to the Fit for Privacy podcast with Punit Bhatia. This is the podcast for those who care about their privacy. Here, your host, Punit Bhatia, has conversations with industry leaders about their perspectives, ideas, and opinions relating to privacy, data protection, and related matters. Be aware that the views and opinions expressed in this podcast are not legal advice. Let us get started.
So here we are with Valerie. Valerie, welcome to the Fit for Privacy podcast.
Hi everyone, thank you Puneet for your invite.
It's great to have you. And maybe let's start with the basic point that there is a rapid evolution of technology now, both in legislative and as well as challenges, because technology grows, technology evolves, and then the law follows.
Exactly.
So, I want to ask you your views on the recent regulatory trends, particularly in the data protection, cybersecurity, and the implications of emerging tech like blockchain, AI, or Internet of Things.
Yeah, so it's great questions. Thank you for asking because I think it's really crucial for modern world because we live in a digital era when technology really change our life and I believe without law, without digital legislation, we can't imagine modern world because we use digital solution in our business, our life, in our job, and this impossible to imagine modern world without digital technologies. And I think this is really challenge for modern law system because a lot of countries really meet with cybersecurity, Web3 development, and AI technologies, and this really challenge for legal system because we need to create new digital law which will protect interests business users and companies because without good regulations without legal system we will have a lot of violations in internet but internet to allow for us to get more opportunities for growth and we can see technology revolutions involved and I think it's great, but we need to ready for a lot of changes in law. I will try to explain these changes in our conversation.
Okay, so that does make sense. But then AI can also be used in the legal practices, like AI tools are already making greater efficiency in other processes, and I'm sure they can make greater efficiency in legal processes as well. Have you seen
Mhm.
any specific tools that are used in the legal domain for different tasks, different use cases?
Hmm. Yeah, precisely, because we use artificial intelligence in our legal work. It's usual for us because we review legal documents, we prepare legal letter, demands, and we check with AI because it's really assist me and help when I work with text and when I want to research and find information in internet because without AI we can do our work really because in our time we can't imagine how we can work with volume work without AI because AI can translate our documents, can improve our language and text, can check our mistakes and show me opportunity for improving this legal solution and, for example, agreements when I prepare these legal documents for my clients. But it's a good tool, and I believe it will work in future and will influence for legal framework in all law company, because without AI, we really lose a lot of opportunities to work swiftly and fastly.
So that's good to
Yeah,
hear that AI is also used in legal practices to increase efficiency. I mean, translate documents, do the corrective grammar checks or predictive analytics. That's interesting. But AI
absolutely.
AI also comes with challenges, like how do you define copyright in the digital world? Who has the copyright, and
Mhm.
how or which laws would apply? Do you have a view on the copyright in the context of the digital world?
So pretty nice questions, because it's so interesting. I think when AI to create legal documents and, for example, lawsuits and prepare documents for courts for trial, I think only lawyer check these legal documents, and this intellectual property will belong only a creator, and creator will have rights to use this intellectual property in business and work. And we can't talk about AI intellectual properties, because AI can't manage this intellectual property. AI, this is tool which help me to work with legal framework. AI can help me to find information and draw up, for example, documents and or text, but I will be owner this intellectual property, because it's impossible and unbelievable to imagine how AI will manage all intellectual property involved. This is so dangerous, and I don't believe in this things in future. But I know legal opinion from different legal councils in the USA say about separate intellectual property, and AI will create intellectual property. But for my opinion, I think only people can create and manage. But AI is only tool for us.
Okay, so good point. AI is a tool, and we should manage copyright rather than AI managing copyright for us. But then that leads
Exactly.
to something called trust, because in the normal world, you see me, I see you, we choose if we want to trust each other or
Mhm.
not. But then
Mhm.
these days, trust is becoming more digital. And how would
Mhm.
you define this concept of digital trust?
Mhm. How we can define digital trust? Digital trust, this is a really challenge for modern world, because I told this previous time, and I think technology will change our imagine, because we really use this in our all field in our life. But I think when we speak about digital trust, we should build security system and security measures which develop in modern world, because we know about, for example, GDPR compliance and CCPA compliance in the USA and European countries, and we have a legal landscape for regulate a relationship between business users, and we have applicable rules in law, and we need to implement these rules in our business and apply this rule in our IT products, because IT products, for example, doesn't conduct a data impact assessment, and these IT products, for example, mobile application or websites, SaaS or CRM system, if they don't have a ISO certification, and they can disclose confidential information without consent form and permission from users. This is violation. This is breach of rules, and I think we are lawyers, and we need to notify our clients about this practice, legal practice involved, and about these obligations, and establish these liabilities in agreements and privacy policy, because modern world has legal framework, for example, privacy policy and digital law, which establish rules that applicable in IT products. And this influence for trust in digital, because when we speak about countries without digital legislation, where government didn't create rules and restrictions, we have more violation situations when users' rights were breached, and we can see courts' decision about disclosing data without permission from users. And modern world tried to regulate this field, and we have a lot of updates from FTC and FTC in the USA, because this is general bodies who create a lot of rules and restrictions which applicable for American business, American IT business. And we work with digital agencies who apply these rules and try to follow all guidelines in the USA. And we know this practice and experience when FTC can regulate and punish for violations actions and illegal actions in the USA. So for my opinion, digital trust is really exists if we can comply legal rules and necessary technical requirements.
That's fairly said. I think digital trust really exists when we comply with the rules. But if we don't
Yeah,
comply with the rules, then it creates risk for business. And maybe
absolutely.
let's talk about some privacy and AI risks also, and how do these come into play, or potential risks or effective strategies that can be used for mitigating the risks.
Yeah, when we speak about mitigating privacy risk, when we use AI, I suppose it's really possible because AI can draw up letters and sending this letter for users. When I thought about working with digital agencies in the USA, they used AI in business, and they developed marketing system and applying AI technologies. And this is dangerous for violations rules because we have enough regulations in privacy field, and we have data privacy protection law. And in this situation, really, we need to implement these rules in our business, because without implementing process, we will have violations and punishment from government. And so I think privacy mitigation process, this is a really hard question in modern world, because I am sure all users in internet can see we how many we have data violations, data breaches in internet. So, but I believe government can create data protection measures, and technology development company will be regulated. And I think when we talk about privacy audits and privacy assessments, we can handle with these practices and complying internal data protections law like GDPR or CCPA. And modern world has privacy system, but for our opinion, we need to improve this process.
Absolutely. We do need to improve this process. So, when we talk about the emergence of laws, emergence of legal practices, or the need for digital trust or managing risks, the challenge for businesses is how do they prepare for upcoming changes in the global data privacy regulations? Because since the GDPR in last 5 or 6 years, what has happened is every month or every few weeks there is a new legislation, and it
Mhm.
is a huge effort for businesses to prepare every time for a new legislation. So in your view, how can a business, or how should a business prepare for the upcoming changes in privacy regulations?
Yeah, I understand you. Thank you for your question. I think digital business and IT company should be prepared for all changes in law, because when GDPR was accepted, we had enough time for implying process and set up rules in our business. And we have enough experience for working with this law. It's privacy law, and we know how to conduct privacy audits in IT companies. And I think this experience we can share with our clients, because we developed a privacy policy for example, for mobile application, for vintage, healthcare, insurance field, and we can provide advice about privacy regulations and provide some conclusions about business process and try to fix some troubles and violations in business. And I think we can improve and build a legal process in a current company because really we can't predict all changes in data protection legislation, but I think we can implement current rules involved because we have a lot of opinions from FTC, from governments, and we have public cases involved when the biggest company involved obtain penalties from GDPR regulations agencies. For example, Google, Twitter, and Meta or Facebook, they obtained penalties in European countries when European regulators to initiate process and punish this company for violation privacy rules. So, and this is reason for mindful research and analysis, because without analysis, disclose violations in business, developed and using technology products, this is really risks for future, because we can get a lot of penalties, and this company will be liability for these illegal actions. And we are lawyer, and we should fix this and try to avoid bad consequences for our clients and work with complex tasks and try to share our experience and work with a really legal challenge in a modern world. Because we can see these changes in law, but business should be flexible, meet with this challenge without destruction process, because we need to comply with all rules, and IT business can research this information and implement this before bad consequences.
And when you talk about the preparation from business perspective to regulations, there's also a dimension of ethical preparation or ethical considerations. Are there, or what are the ethical considerations that can be taken into account while addressing especially the new generation or emerging technology like AI solutions?
Yeah, when we use AI and implement in our business process, we will responsible for all illegal actions because AI can improve our process and build new legal framework in companies. But it is not enough. This system required to audit, and after checking control and compliance check, we can make a solution about next step and assessment current business model and disclose business risks.
Okay. And while we talk about all this, is there a specific case that you can discuss where probably a legal intervention, let's say, uh,
Mhm.
that helped a technology company turn the regulatory challenge into more of a strategic advantage? Because, the regulatory compliance is usually seen as an overhead, but we know from experience that you can convert a regulatory challenge into a strategic advantage. Do you have any case that you can share with us?
Yeah, we have cases with our clients in the USA, in European countries, where we provided advices and we worked with their legal space and legal landscape. And I think we can share this information with our listeners because I believe this is a relevant agenda for all technology companies, because we are technology lawyers and we try to follow all changes in modern digital law, and we try to implement these legal requirements in business our clients. So when we spoke about CCPA, GDPR, FTC compliance, we worked with our client to analyze these rules. And for example, we include a lot of points and provisions in our agreement with partners, with advertisers, with publishers, with users IT product, because our goal to establish liability, we try to restrict our responsibility in business. Because when we speak about IT business, we can say that users don't see for compliance procedure, but business, the companies, they need to follow and implement this in business process, because regulations system try to restrict us and establish new rules which will control our business.
That makes sense. And I mean, from my perspective, I think I have the insights that I expected from you. And before I say thank you, I would really like to understand, how do you support your clients in the journey in terms of implementing the laws and so on?
Mhm.
If you'd like to share something about that.
Yeah, thank you for your questions. Because I think when we work with our clients, we started our work with audit, and we try to find all breaches and all violations in business, because it's our responsibilities. And our lawyers spoke with clients, with owners, and try to analyze all legal documents with partners, with counterparty, because after this complex audit, we can research legal documents in company and provide legal strategy for developing in company. Because, for example, when we work with companies, with digital agencies, with products, IT company, we try to understand all requirements for this business in international law. And after our review, we can give advice and legal solutions for implementing their business. Because without good research, we can't make a decision about business process. But I know a lot of IT companies, they get about this approach and they think to use already legal solutions without research. And this is misleading, this is a mistake, because when company can get penalties, lawyers will be responsible for this, because we need to avoid bad consequences for company and build strong legal system with agreements, with policies, with compliance procedure, which follow all requirements in countries and react for new challenges, for new changes in laws.
It does make sense. I think companies should not take legal matters simply or easily. They should do the due diligence and apply. And a situation is that it depends what is the solution in context of a company. And it's not always a generic
Absolutely.
solution that you can search on Google or Bing. So that's where
Without
people
good
like,
due diligence, we can't make decision.
exactly. And that's where due diligence from experts like you, me, and others in legal or compliance domain helps. And with that, I would
Yeah.
say it has been wonderful to be having your thoughts on these different matters. And if somebody wants to get in touch with you, what would be the best way to contact you?
Mhm. So I can share my personal contacts and our websites, because we described all services which we provide for our clients. For example, GDPR compliance, CCPA compliance. So we establish a company in the USA and European countries. We provide tax advice and work with agreements in company. So and we do a lot of work, and I think you can see this information on our website, and because we can share a lot of contents about our cases and about our success.
Sure. So, with that, I would say thank you so much for your time. It was wonderful to have you, and I wish you success in your business.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening. If you liked the show, feel free to share it with a friend and write a review. If you have already done so, thank you so much. And if you did not like the show, don't bother and forget about it. Take care and stay safe. Fit for Privacy helps you to create a culture of privacy and manage risks by creating, defining, and implementing a privacy strategy that includes delivering scenario-based training for your staff. We also help those who are looking to get certified in CIPPE, CIPM, and CIPT through on-demand courses that help you prepare and practice for certification exam. Want to know more? Visit www.fit4privacy.com. That's www.fit4privacy.com. If you have questions or suggestions, drop an email at hello@fit4privacy.com. Until next time, goodbye.